Rightio, it's time to get right on into Empire City. Well, Skyscraper Scamper Night. It's not Empire City anymore. Music is Intro, Skyscraper Scamper Night, and Skyscraper Scamper Night. That is a mouthful, more than any other level in the game. Skyscraper Scamper. Too many sk's in there, I think. It's a little bit irritating. Now, I've said this many times before, but Empire City and Skyscraper Scamper do not appear in the Wii PS2 version. They are exclusive to here. You can see that generally kind of less effort seems to have been put into these levels than any of the others, but considering it was just kind of only on one version of the game, you can see why they would put more effort into other bits. Now, Empire City itself kind of appears to have... It's definitely based on the USA, you can tell that by the flag. But it's kind of got a mixture of US cities like Chicago, Seattle, and New York City. Especially New York, because apparently one of the nicknames for New York City is the Empire City, which makes sense considering the Alicia Keys song Empire State of Mind. With New York, concrete jungle where dreams are made of, and so on and so forth. Now, the flag looks a lot like the USA. The Empire City flag looks a lot like the United States flag, except the USA flag has 50 stars, whilst Empire City has 12, and the US flag has 13 stripes, while Empire City has 17. Also, the blue area covers an entire side of the Empire City flag, whilst the USA colours a corner. Clearly, they wanted to make sure that you noted the difference between the flags. Now, I'm not sure whether it's in the day stage or the night stage, but you can see the cover of Sonic 06. Oh no, it's in the hub world. So yeah, you can see the cover of Sonic 06 on one of the newsletters in one of the newsstands. Yay for remembering that game. Now, something that I think some Sonic fans have taken note of is because it's based on New York. Some people thought that Empire City was another part of Station Square for the Sonic Adventure, but it could also be part of the United Federation, which seems to be what the Sonic universe seemed to have as its equivalent to the US, which is seen in Sonic Adventure 2 and Shadow the Hedgehog. Also, certain parts of the acts are similar to Crisis City, which is a bit odd. Now, one thing that I would like to point out is that the world of Sonic is obviously very malleable and changes constantly. But I believe in this game we have already seen there's a world map of Sonic's world, and at least in this kind of version of the game, and that map also appears in Shadow the Hedgehog, and I think it's exactly the same. Don't quote me on that, I could be wrong, but it looks remarkably similar to me, and could suggest that games do take place in the same world. It's only... well, there's not been a game yet, really, where the location of Sonic has really been in doubt, I guess. Doesn't make much sense, but yeah. Now, one of the residents in Empire City is called Def Big, and he owns a record label, which is probably a little reference to Def Jam Records. So I think that's pretty much my Empire City trivia gone for the most part. Now, this is the part of the Empire City Night that I hate, because you can't fall off these platforms, otherwise you die. This is the well, it's not the only level where there's no grappling onto the side of the tightrope walking segments, but it's the only one where if you go a little bit too far to the side, then you get hurt and then you fall off because of the recoil, which is really irritating. It gets worse later on when you start having bits of the level that will just fall off after a while. I mean, I like Empire City, it's a fun level, but Skyscraper Scamper, I mean, I'm going to keep making that mistake. It's because, unlike the other stages where it's just like Rooftop Run, Cool Edge, and so on and so forth, it just doesn't kind of link in my head as well. I quite like the loop that we've done of the level there. Fun little thing to do. Now, if I recall correctly, before Sonic Unleashed came out, there was all of the rumours that Knuckles and Shadow were going to be in the game, specifically the PS3 360 version, which then led people to believe that they were, because they clearly weren't going to be important to the story because they weren't appearing in the Wii PS2 version, that they were going to appear in Missouri and Empire City. Obviously this proved to be completely false, and really isn't much of a loss because I don't really miss Shadow or Knuckles in the story, but yes, now if you are wondering why some of these medals are already collected, because I died. This is going to happen a few times, well, twice in this level. Basically, I hate those tightrope platforms. They are just evil. And I'm just not good enough to be able to clear this level perfectly. And I'm also too lazy to go through and re-record it because it's an incredibly long level. Not as long as Cool Edge Night, but you get the picture. Now, here we have a wonderful Titan. Now I have to say, I'm not a fan of the Titans as it is, but I'm really not a fan of the Titans when they can basically just throw you off the side of the stage. This is particularly prevalent in this level. Not so much this Titan, and more so the Titan that appears at the end of the level. Because whilst you're here, the arena is cordoned off by the metal fence. You don't have that at the end of the stage. So it's very, very easy to get flung off there, less easy to get flung off here. So I'm okay with this type of Titan encounter, but certainly not okay with the later encounter. Definitely not. Caused me so much frustration. Now, the height of Skyscraper Scamper is slightly terrifying. So, we're like on the rooftops of the skyscrapers, yeah? All we can see below us is a hideous green cloud type thing. Just how high up are we? Because, I mean, I would not like to be living under that. We're up in the clouds, so this is like ridiculously high. Are we like higher than Mount Everest at this point? Also, that section. Just no, I hate it. That is certainly one of the hardest sections in the level, because it's asking you to do kind of manoeuvring. And jumping is dangerous, basically. But jumping is the quickest way of getting across the damn thing. Thankfully, sort of, all of these egg fighters are easy to defeat. So, it's not too bad. Just gotta murder them. Simple as, really. Now, I have to say, one thing that I'm ever so slightly not too impressed with Unleashed is that because of the order of the levels, it's entirely possible for you to end up doing 2 night levels in a row, which is never fun. I mean that it's really, really not fun. It's basic. I think it's basically just because I like having the choice to kind of alternate. Like, there's not really much choice involved in where you go in Unleashed. You're given the option of 2 locations, really. So, there's not much of a variation, but it's at least something. It means that you're unlikely to see the same Unleashed walkthrough twice. I mean, technically you never will see the same one twice, unless you decide to watch the same person twice in a row. But even then, you're not guaranteed to see the same thing twice if it's 2 separate playthroughs done by the same person. I'll have my Knights stuff, and my Child of Eden stuff, and something else that's coming shortly to the channel as of when this is released. Yeah, I'm still kind of crazy for being like, yeah, this is totally kind of post-commentary, but I don't like telling you whenabouts I have recorded stuff. So you do have this really kind of bizarre time displacement, because you have to make the decision of, do I reveal the time frame in which I'm recording by giving away kind of facts and thereby making the entire walkthrough kind of outdated? Or do you try and avoid that, which is easier said than done, I have to say. And just kind of go for it. It's probably kind of why sometimes live commentary is slightly easier. I mean, I never want to do live commentary because I fail at... well, for starters, I cannot play video games and talk at the same time. At least, not most of the time anyway. Now, you could grab that art book if you want. Me, no, it's not happening. Screw that one for a laugh. Because basically all you gotta do is you gotta drop and grab again, but no. That's not happening. Just no. So, we are nearing the end of the level now. Quite glad as well, because I've pretty much run out of things to talk about with Empire City Night. Skyscraper Scamper Night. It's just gonna keep continuing. I guess it's probably something to do with the fact that I associate the names with the day stages more than anything. Which sounds like a really odd kind of concept, but I always, when I think of Rooftop Run, I think of Rooftop Run Day. When I think of Cool Edge, I think of Cool Edge Day, and so on and so forth. Don't think of Skyscraper Scamper as much, because it's not one of my favourite levels. Although, it only seems to be certain levels that I remember it for, because when we reach the last hub world, I don't think of the level in terms of its actual name, I think of it in terms of the name of the world. It's really weird. Now, here we have this wonderful evil titan of hatred and death. Basically, if he can throw you off the side of the level, he will do. Basically, he caused me lots and lots, well, not lots and lots of deaths, but he certainly caused me 2. It's really frustrating, because you're so close to the end of the stage, and yet he can just kill you so easily by throwing you off the top of the skyscraper. It's just ridiculous. Thankfully, getting a critical finish on him will get you some decent score, so that's very helpful. I think we've picked up everything. So let's see what I got, considering I died right at the end. That's actually not that bad. The game was very... sometimes it's very kind of nice like that. Sometimes it's horrible. So, we've finished that long level. We've only got 2 night stages and 2 day stages left. So, we're actually already nearing the end of the game. Which may surprise you, but I guess it's going to happen eventually. Sonic Unleashed isn't that long of a game. Certainly nowhere near as short as Generations and Colours. And I have to say, I do prefer this length rather than their lengths. Although I think in terms of pure commentary parts. They have probably ended up being about the same or longer maybe, but the games themselves are not that long. That's just because I ended up taking a lot of time over them to make sure that they were how I wanted them to be. So yeah, this is definitely longer than Colours, which for my playthrough took 3 hours. It took a bit longer than that, but it was quite short. Generations in terms of per videos is longer at 34 videos, but it's only 9 hours of stuff, whereas I think this ends up being closer to 10. But so it's better than Generations, because I mean the story of Generations is really quite short. It's maybe about 4 hours, I guess. But once you start doing all of the missions, that's kind of how you build up the length of the game. Whereas here, it's just a generally longer game, and I'm quite grateful for that. There's less padding, which sounds ridiculous because some people would call the medal collecting padding, and it is, but you don't spend as much time medal collecting as you do in levels, because the medal collecting in the levels can be quite fun. Whoa, Amy, just chill, girl, just chill, it'll be fine. Well, funnily enough, we're actually already capable of, in terms of medal count, we're able to get into almost all of the levels now, just apart from one. So the last place that we need to go to is Anabat. But before we do that, we are going to have a look at the rest of Empire City and Shamar. Okay, so it's basically saying that if you complete side quests for people, then you will unlock further side quests, and it's kind of like a rolling sequence of stuff that eventually will lead to experience, if I recall correctly. If not experience, just an achievement, if you want that sort of thing. So, I think we are... Oh, look! It's, Hualin from Chun-Nan. And she's run away. Oh dear, that's not good. Oh well, we'll just leave her there, it'll be fine. Now, if you're wondering why I keep talking to Iman here, it's basically because she is the person who wants the crystal ball. But she's not taking it from me right now. She'll take it eventually, but not right now. Because basically, once you do that, she will give you a reading. And that's always quite fun. Yes, she just won't take it. For some bizarre reason, I don't know why. It's like, come on, take the damn thing! But that's pretty much everything for now. I think it's time to head back to the world map and probably head on over to Empire City to do Skyscraper Scamper Day, I think. So let's go on and do that. Oh yeah.